everybody. So today's Saturday. That means it's time for family movie night. And this week we're continuing on my series celebrating the films I've seen at Maven Cinemas, which is a new revival theater in American Fork, Utah. I'm really excited about it. Their lineups are incredible. You should definitely check it out if you're in the area. They have everything from silent movie classics, which we'll be talking about one today, to hits from the 80s, 90s, and even they did Godzilla minus one. So they're not all old movies, but they have just unbelievable films, and they're continuing to surprise me with the films that they have. I saw The Rescuers, and we're going to be talking about that with Stanford, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I saw Beauty and the Beast, and that was a lot of fun. But today we're talking about a silent film that I got to see there called The General, and this is from 1926, and it stars Buster Keaton. And this was such a treat to get to watch on the big screen, because it really was the Mission Impossible of its day. The stunts are so spectacular. They still hold up, and you wonder, how did they pull this off? Buster Keaton, people say, are you a Buster Keaton guy or are you a Charlie Chaplin guy? And I think I'm definitely in the Buster Keaton camp. He was so expressive. I mean, I like Charlie Chaplin movies too, but Buster Keaton had so much expression in just his face, and what he was willing to do to get the joke, to get the scene, to get the stunts was just absolutely amazing. And I mean, there's still stuff that I think holds up as a modern stunt. And it's really, really amazing. And this movie is pretty simple as far as the story. Most of the silent movies are on the simple side. So you have this man named Johnny who wants to be with this woman named Annabelle, is in love with her. And she says that she will only be with him if he is in uniform. So he says, okay, I got to join the Confederate Army. And he's in Georgia at the time. And so he goes to try to join the army, that they won't accept him because they say he's more useful as an engineer because he has this train called the General. And he's embarrassed about this, that he can't be in uniform for Annabelle. And she thinks that he just doesn't want to be in uniform, doesn't want to join the cause. And so she's upset with him. Basically, the rest of the movie is him on his train and him sort of stalling the trains and stopping the trains of the Union Army and the Union soldiers. And that's maybe part of it that is a little bit awkward about the movie, is that the Union soldiers are the enemy, and we're not used to seeing that in these kinds of stories. Usually the Union in the Civil War were the heroes, or painted as the heroes, and the Confederates are kind of more the villain type. But in here, because he's from Georgia, and it was interesting, on the Wikipedia it says that originally, I guess, the book was written, that it's based on, called The Great Locomotive Chase, that it was from the Union perspective. But it says here, although it was written from the Union Army perspective, Keaton did not believe that the audience would accept Confederates as villains and changed the story's point of view. So that's really interesting to me, that that has changed obviously so much since 1926, that at the time it was the reverse of what we think, that the unions were seen as sort of the villains, maybe because they're sort of an underdog idea, maybe, of the Confederacy. I don't know. I just thought that was very interesting. But it might be a little awkward for modern audiences, but it's never like, this is not like a dark and gritty film. This is, a comedy. And so it's not like too serious. But the stunts are just absolutely amazing. There's all of these scenes with them moving about the trains and jumping from the trains, and them using different things, to chains and stuff like that, to stop the trains and derail the trains, and all this stuff going on. I guess he had 18 trains as part of this filming, which is amazing. And it says here that 18 freight cars full of Civil War cannons, and they had to rebuild passenger cars, stagecoach, houses, wagons, and laborers. So this was an incredibly expensive film for its time, and you can feel that because it just looks expensive. I mean, most of these stuff would still be expensive to do even today with the special effects and other things that we have. But really incredible. And the most iconic scene is this scene where they set fire to this bridge, and the Union train goes across, and the whole thing collapses, and it is very, very, very intense. So I think that it's just unbelievable that they were able to pull this off, and what a treat to get to see it on the big screen. And like I said, I love Buster Keaton. He's so expressive in his face. He's willing to do anything for the gag, anything for the scene. He's fearless as a performer. He really, really, really is. And I was trying to think of like a modern comedian who is similar in just the physicality, maybe Jim Carrey, I guess, maybe the way that Buster Keaton was. He's the only person I can really think of that really is like really physical with their comedy in the way that Keaton was. But it's been a while since we got that from Jim Carrey. But it's a great movie, and I think that kids will enjoy it. This is, I think, a good gateway movie for silent movies if you're wanting to introduce your kids to silent movies, because there's not that much dialogue. It's mostly the action, and so I think kids will still enjoy that. And it's not that long, and it's exciting and energetic, and there's romance, and so I think that this is one the whole family can watch and enjoy, and that it holds up quite well. And so if you've seen The General, what do you think of it? Do you like it, not like it? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to check out Maven Cinemas if you're in the Utah County area at all. I think you'll really love what they're doing over there, and I just would love for them to be a success. So let me know what your favorite Keaton movie is, if it's this one or a different one. I would love to hear that. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. And also check out the podcast and everything over at Hallmarkies Podcast. Appreciate that. And also I have the patron group where we talk about all the movies that I'm seeing. And also we have the merch store where you can get tons of fun designs. So please take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.